So may or may not be considered a disaster, so I thought it made a good through line. Warnings after 250 million bees escape.
Oh no, 250? Really?
250
sure is a headline.
million bees.
Nice. Oh,
Bees,
nice.
my
Beautiful.
God.
It sounds like the setup of
Beautiful.
like, what would you rather fight? Like 50,000 bee-sized horses or 250 million? And this is like, what? 250 million bees. It's such a ridiculous thing.
I don't know if this is a disaster or not. I guess it depends on who you ask. We should ask the bees. There's an overturned truck in the United States.
Saving the bees.
So also to be full disclosure, I live about 8 minutes from this intersection.
Oh no, Landon!
Landon, stay safe.
Oh god.
But this is also near
Landon
Canada, so
beard.
it's part of that Canadian thing too.
Wait, Chess, do you know about bee beards? That's a thing.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Bees.
Landon, if these bees show up at your place, you should make them a beard and show up next time with a bee beard.
I am working on a project.
When I lived on the farm, we did have beehives.
I'm working on a mini project in the background where I've been collecting information on what plants need to be planted for pollinators, and I'm going to be starting to attend city council meetings, and I'm going to see if I can convince the city to like use easements to plant more pollinator flowers. But I'll let you guys know how that goes. Estimated
Pollinators are important.
Yes. An estimated 250 million bees escaped from an overturned truck in the United States of Washington on Friday, sparking warnings from authorities for the public to avoid the swarm of stinging insects. Emergency officials were helped by several master beekeepers after the truck, which had been hauling roughly 70,000 pounds, or 31,750 kilograms of active honeybee hives, flipping over on the road near the Canadian border. Quote,
So in this area,
we're gonna put a tariff on those bees.
Both blueberry and raspberry. In fact, a substantial percentage of raspberries from the United States come from this area, and these bees are useful for pollinators because you need pollinators to allow the plants to have sex with each other.
Is there gonna be a raspberry shortage now?
Maybe.
No, because there's other things, and besides the bees are they're kind of mixed up. They're putting lots of bees there available. Meanwhile, Maanyaa is putting lots of bees.
Quote, the goal is to save as many bees as possible. To the county sheriff's office, or shortly after the incident, the authorities said that the site crash would remain closed until rescue is complete. You must save the bees. 250 million bees are now loose. Avoid the area due to potential bees escaping and swarming.
By the way, it's near Badger Road, in case you know where that is. And it's but there's other bees there around, so and it's fine.
At least they're not the killer hornets. Right. So yeah, they're supposed to be getting rehive, and they're gonna try to keep doing that. It's gonna take 24 to 48 hours to get it tidied up. But bees. 250 million bees escape. The great bee escape.
Saving the bees.
This is a movie. This is a movie. It needs to happen. All right, but in other good animal news, lion population has gone up from 674 to 891 in 5 years.
Ooh, finally.
And this is one of the smallest populations of lions. These are the Asiatic lions that only now exist in one forest in India.
Yes.
They're extremely rare. They're genetically distinct, and they have been on the verge of extinction for a very, very long time. Because you gotta remember, lions, like Panthera leo, the species lion, used to at one point extend through the Middle East, into Europe, and all the way across Asia into India. Not like Siberia or anything, but like in the warm parts of Asia, all the way east to India. Yep. And now they're restricted to a few pockets of Africa and one tiny little national forest in India. And that's it for the Asiatic lion. It's one tiny little forest. Well, I mean, it's not that small, but like compared to their old range, it's minuscule.
Yeah. Relative. A population of what are they called?
Asiatic.
Asiatic lions has risen 32.19% reaching 891 in 2025, up from 647 in 2020, according to the latest census released by the government.
Yeah. And by the way, just
What?
also for the
He said
public
647.
Oh, sorry, 674.
Betacamp Road is closed between Loomis Trail and West Badger Road, in part because they're trying to move because all the hives are damaged, right? All the bees didn't
Yeah.
escape.
Oh, we're back to
Still a
bees.
lot
Sorry,
of
bees.
that are there,
Yeah.
and they are being moved because those pollinators are needed for crops and other things like that. So just avoid the Betacamp
What if we get
Road.
the lions to pollinate the crops?
I mean, they could probably carry a lot of pollinator on their manes, but we might need bigger flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I got alert to avoid that area. So
However, conservationists remain concerned about the increasing number of lions living outside of the forested areas, risk of human-wildlife conflict. Of the total lion population, 55.78% were found in forest areas, where a significant 44.22% were located in non-forested zones such as wastelands, agricultural fields, riverine tract, plantations, and areas near human settlements. Expert warns that the lions straying into human-dominated landscapes, especially near agricultural land and villages, can lead to rising cases of man-animal conflict. The 16th lion population estimation was announced during the 7th meeting of the National Board of Wildlife. The lion census is conducted every 5 years, and they continue to be the stronghold for the species, holding over 43% of the total lion population. But yeah.
43%. Damn.
Yahoo! The key lion habitat hosts 332 lions, including 82 males and 117 adult females, 61 subadults, and 79 cubs, making it the highest lion holding district. For the first time since 1879, the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary recorded the presence of 17 lions.
Oh, that's cool.
And we got one more piece of good news for animals.
Yay,
Brokenhead Nation welcomes first buffalo calves in decades. 11 calves have been born since the herd was reintroduced in December. Look at them, aren't they cute?
Oh, cutie. They're so fluffy.
Seeing a brand new generation of buffalo born for the first time in more than 2 decades. Quote, "It is a big part of our culture as people, brings the community together, and a lot of people come out here and drive out here to look at them and talk about them," said the manager. The reserve land, 75 kilometers north of Winnipeg, along Brokenhead River, fall within traditional buffalo territory. The new herd was brought to Brokenhead in late December from Sakamay First Nation in Saskatchewan. I believe I pronounced that correctly, but I might be wrong. Before that, he and his team worked tirelessly to prepare the buffalo pasture. They had a herd in the 1900s that was disbanded in the early 2000s. Before working on the ranch, they had never seen... Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's his story. This year, the herd of 22 birthed 11 healthy calves, with 3 or 4 more expected. The pasture, open grass and plains and brush make it perfect nursery for the calves. Look at them!
Aww.
Aren't they cute? With a few more on the way. They're gonna almost, get 50% bigger. Look at their friend-shaped! Don't pet them.
Yeah. Don't try that. No. Unless you want them horns, no. Don't.
But yeah, so congratulations on that. That's fantastic. So hopefully the wildfires don't cause too much problem. They are in Winnipeg, north of Winnipeg, which is in Alberta, and the fires are currently raging in Manitoba and Saskatchewan. But Alberta will likely also have some fires as well, but I'm sure they'll take care of the buffalo. As I did have a question for Dapper, given that we have these the lion things going on with the lions and buffalo in particular. What do you think, or how do you feel as somebody who studies or at least knows biology a little bit better than I do, at the very least, and talks about these things a little bit more? The reintroduction of things into because we talked about that a little bit with the dire wolves, right? reintroducing things that have been gone for a while. When it comes to reintroducing and regrowing these types of populations in their natural area, what are you thinking? Like good, bad, risks, rewards?
So it's generally good if your concern is things like biodiversity and ecological health, because both the lions and the buffalo are relatively recent local extinctions in these areas. Now, you might be thinking that's kind of surprising when it comes to the lions, since it's been a few thousand years. But the thing is, ecosystems generally adapt on the time scale of hundreds of thousands of years. So, and there's going to be some adaptation, pretty fast, but even in the course of tens of thousands of years, it's going to be somewhat limited. And so, because it's been less than 10,000 years for both of these, and these are both still populations of living animals with decent-sized genetic diversity. It's not amazing, but it's okay. It's certainly better than it is for, say, the white rhino or something.
Right.
You can actually still get a healthy, you can still get a healthy breeding wild population of these animals. They haven't been reduced such that their social systems are no longer operable, which is another problem that you can have, especially with mammals. So overall, I think it's a good idea. Now, there are concerns, right? These are both very, very dangerous animals. You might think that a buffalo is just a shaggy cow. It's not.
Well, cows are dangerous also.
So they are, although the thing is, if you walk up to a cow, chances are it's not going to try to attack you.
And very used to people. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very used to people. They tend to like people. That's not buffaloes. Yeah. A buffalo, or, to be more proper, an American bison, will gore you to death and trample on you.
Yep.
They are dangerous. A lion may attack. Now, they tend not to be aggressive, including the lions, because they're generally not comfortable.
The buffalo are more likely to be aggressive than the lions due to their nature.
Honestly, yes. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It's a myth that herbivores are nice and peaceful and carnivores are aggressive. That's not how
literally the opposite. If you've seen a moose,
it tends to
you know. If you've seen a goose, you know.
Yeah.
Goose aren't herbivores.
There is a concern. So for the buffalo, one of the things is, if this becomes a herd that can be reintroduced into the wild, which I would like to see, people need to be educated about buffalo. They need to know that this is something that is like a moose, but heavier in terms of its temperament and likelihood to attack you.
Yes.
They need to know how to deal with them. There need to be things established for okay, what if a buffalo just decides to stand on the road, right?
Yes.
There's only one road. If the buffalo blocks it, was that going to block all of Canada? I don't know.
Well, there's also a really big difference between a moose, which is more of a solitary animal, and a buffalo, which move in herds.
Yeah. A herd of buffalo could block off the one road that exists in Canada.
Yes.
That's you gotta have a plan. When it comes to
the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's the only road.
Yep.
So the other thing is when for lions, you have different concerns, right? Lions probably aren't going to be blocking streets and running through farms in a herd, or even most likely just randomly attacking people. Instead, one of the concerns is going to be lions taking livestock as prey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they will take your cows, they'll take your goats, they'll take your sheep, they'll take your chickens.
An unwanted confrontation as well. Children.
Right. Also. And then that becomes people getting out weapons and going lion hunting. And the thing is, big cats are not dumb, and they will notice if the humans start becoming aggressive towards them, and they will respond by trying to clear humans out of the territory if they think they can.
Yeah.
It won't be a war, right? But it can happen. You can train the lions to attack people just by having an antagonistic relationship with them.
Yeah.
Now they'll also flee more. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword there. But also, so what I would like to see again is educational programs for people. What do you do if you encounter a lion? Yeah. How are ways to be safe in an area that has lions? But also, one thing that was really important in the United States to wolf reintroduction was a government program that reimbursed ranchers for livestock losses due to wolf predation. Mm-hmm. Because that way, the farmers did not perceive the occasional attack as damaging their livelihood.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that might help is if there was some kind of program. Now, I don't know what the Gujarati government is willing or capable of doing in terms of this. So like,
Yeah.
this is my pipe dream, I suppose. But it would be nice to see some program that if you can demonstrate that a lion has taken one of your animals, that you get some kind of payment that roughly covers the cost of buying a new animal if you want to do that, basically.
Right.
To replace it if you want. And if you don't want, well then, okay, well, you still have the value of that animal. You can spend it on, food.
Do
or
whatever
whatever.
you're gonna do. Yeah.
Right. So, that I think would be a good thing to do if the lions really do start becoming common in human inhabited areas. Now, it seems like for the most part, most of them aren't doing that, which is good. But
So far.
one of the things is domesticated animals are really easy prey. They tend to be a lot of them. They tend not to be very well able to defend themselves because they haven't been bred for that. They've been bred for things like producing lots of milk or meat or eggs or something like that, right? Things that don't tend to lend towards survival away from humans taking care of them.
Right.
So, and so that's a big concern. Also, maybe it might be time if you're in Gujarat and you're near the forests with all the lions. I don't know, build taller walls. Just around your property, build a taller wall.
But I say, it's at times when you get flocks of things that invade human habitation, you can get into problems, such as what's happening right now in the area of Onion Hills, Michigan, near Detroit, where flocks of Tesla Cybertrucks are showing up. they have a problem